Hi everyone, so I thought I'd add my take on Lyme disease, and this was a possible cause of my 8 years of illness, because just before I got ill in that year, I had a deer tick on my hip for an entire day. I got to the end of the day, 8 o'clock. I took off my shirt and I was like, oh, what's this? And there was a huge deer tick hanging off my hip. And it had been there the full day. And at the time, my dad got the, what you use for the dogs. You put it on and then twist it a certain way. So he took it off, never thought much about it. And within a year, I was starting to have problems. So, could have been a cause of my illness. I don't know. And this is a important thing, is that in the end I just stopped chasing a diagnosis. I was on a website, I think it was a German tester, Infectolabs or something, to get checked for Lyme disease. Firstly, the Lyme disease test is very unreliable. Secondly, it doesn't change the way I'm going to treat my Lyme disease. And thirdly, it's fucking expensive. So at that point I was like, look, whatever is wrong with me, I'm going to treat it the same way. I'm going to change everything in my lifestyle. And that's what I did. And I've recovered now. And it took a good year of solid day-to-day changes. Every single thing I did in a day had to be changed. I changed it for the better to help with recovery. Now, my take on chronic Lyme disease, is that what changed my view on it, at least, was my dog gets bit by ticks all the fucking time. So I'm like, how can one tick bite be the downfall of me, if that's my problem? So don't take it as advice from me on how to cure Lyme's disease. Just I'm giving you some input. And I thought maybe it is to do with my immune system. And I was looking on Google, just trying to find anything to do with Lyme disease, going through so many testimonials, and the idea of being on antibiotics for years at a time and still not recovering, I would say avoid that. You're literally destroying your immune system, which makes Lyme more rampant, I would say. Might be complete bro science what I just said then, but I don't think the way to curing these illnesses is through bombarding your body with antibiotics for years at a time. So I was looking, and I came across a guy that had been so ill he was bedbound by Lyme's disease, tests showing he had Lyme, and he didn't know what else to do with his life. He had no options, so he went raw vegan, yeah? And after 6 months, he said he felt great. Now, my take on that is that when you cut out all these processed foods, inflammatory foods, it gives your body builds a stronger immune system. So maybe with an increase in immune system, it hibernates the spirochete or whatever. Maybe if your immune system is constantly high, Lyme's disease can't thrive. Therefore, you're fine. Like a dog, my dog, his immune system must just be high constantly. He's never affected by the tick bites at all. Maybe that's what humans were meant to be like. But because of the amount of stress we deal with, the amount of awful food we put in our mouths, drinking sodas with aspartame and all this junk, it gives our body no opportunity to do some fighting itself. So that's what I did. I only tried raw vegan for a week and I did feel better. Not cured, I felt better, but what can you expect? It's only a week. You have to be patient. But what I ended up doing was just cutting out every inflammatory food: gluten, dairy, eggs, animal products, refined oils, additives, aspartame, anything that was just not beneficial to me recovering. And over time it did work for me. So the point I would like to make to you is, if you have Lyme disease, you think you do, you've been bitten by a tick, you feel awful, you're getting symptoms day by day, even if you still want to chase a diagnosis, change everything in your life. You're not going to lose anything apart from inconvenience. I would recommend getting all inflammatory foods out your diet, go for huge big changes in your day-to-day life, go to bed early, listen to an audiobook in the dark, just relax your mind, talk to people, get things off your chest, be honest with yourself. Like, when I was finally honest with myself and I spoke about things that I've been so afraid to acknowledge because it would make me feel weak, I just had just a big lift off my shoulders. Just all these different things you can attack during the day of every day and just be consistent with it is going to benefit your recovery no matter what. You can still chase a diagnosis, but chasing a diagnosis and waiting in between appointments and everything is time consuming. You might as well be doing stuff in between. So my advice to people with Lyme's disease is to just look at some of my other videos. I have a video actually, let me have a look. 15 things I did to improve my overall health and 10 things to avoid. Just think about things like that and change everything in your life, and do that in between appointments while trying to find a diagnosis and everything. So that's my final message. And if you have any questions, just ask.